This is Valley News Live at 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. As the search continues this afternoon for two people, a man and a woman, believed to be burglary suspects, the search is focused on an area near I-29 north of Argusville. Cass County Sheriff Jesse Johnner told us that a property owner had asked relatives to keep an eye on his property. They indicated a suspicious vehicle was in the area, and when they approached it, the car intentionally ran into their car. The two suspects then took off into a nearby cornfield where a drone and a canine have been unsuccessful.
You can only fly at line of sight, and with the windy conditions that we're experiencing today, it's having a little bit of troubles staying up for a long period of time.
The sheriff says that deputies are still setting up along a perimeter, and he's hoping that the temps will cool off and the winds will die down to effectively use a drone later tonight. Authorities need some help in finding a missing man. He's David Jones. He was last seen this past Tuesday. He's about 6 feet 1 inches tall, 215 pounds, and the Becker County Sheriff's Office says that he was last seen driving this black 2006 GMC Sierra Denali pickup. Now the license plate on that vehicle, 755 PGK. If you have any information, please call authorities. There had to be quite a few Moorhead residents worried about today's heat and the fact that power was out. Thousands were without power earlier this afternoon. Moorhead Public Service reported as many as 17,172 customers being impacted. Luckily, it didn't last long. We're told the cause of the outage was technical. Moorhead Public Service apologized for the inconvenience, expressing appreciation for residents' patience. Our stretch of hot temps certainly continued today. We climbed back into the lower 90s again, and our chief meteorologist Hutch Johnson is here with details on tonight and a look ahead to hopefully some rain and cooler weather. Hutch?
Thanks, Mike. As we head into the evening, it does look like some areas are experiencing some of that smoke. Once again, this smoke this time coming from fires on the west coast. As we look in on the Devil's Lake Skycam, certainly more hazy there than the blue skies we're enjoying here in the FM area. A lot of 90-degree weather, including for Babe, the Blue Ox in Bemidji, but look at behind me. It's in the triple digits, Bismarck to Minot and portions of the western Dakotas. Now, here's a look at the visible satellite imagery, and we can see that smoke kind of leaning its way into northwest Minnesota and back towards Jamestown. And as we look off to the west, that milky color you see there is the smoke. It's reducing visibilities out to the west, but for now it looks to stay out there. This is what it looks like from the state capitol looking west. Unbelievable, thick and nasty air quality there. For us, I don't think we're going to have to worry about it in Fargo. 92 as we head through the 7 o'clock hour. So we will finally cool off after sunset. The wind's gusty today, Mike, and it remains that way. Now we'll look ahead towards where the smoke is going. We're also going to look ahead as to where the shower chances are going to be, because it does look like cooler weather will join us as well as some showers.
Thanks.
Yep.
A Fargo man will be spending the next 9 years behind bars after pleading guilty to killing an 18-year-old in Moorhead. 26-year-old Larry Evans was sentenced this morning in district court in Fargo for the death of Cameron Camacho. Evans punched the teen several times in the head during an argument over drug prices on August 3rd of 2020. Camacho died in the hospital the following day. Evans was originally charged with murder and terrorizing, but the murder charge was downgraded as a part of a plea bargain. Several rental companies settled a lawsuit today about housing discrimination. The Justice Department alleged that the companies failed to design and construct apartment complexes and a rental office in North Dakota that were accessible to people with disabilities. The properties included townhomes at Charleswood in West Fargo and Steeples Apartments, Southampton Townhomes, and Carrington Court Townhouse Apartments in Grand Forks. So much is happening in a very rapid time in Kabul, Afghanistan, where desperate residents are fleeing for their lives as the Taliban take control. In Washington, President Joe Biden and his administration are facing the military, diplomatic, and all the political fallout of the collapse of that country. NBC's Alice Barr reports from Washington.
Scenes of desperation at the airport in Kabul as Afghan citizens try to make it on the last planes out before it's too late. While the world watches the Taliban take over that capital, President Biden returning to Washington to address the unraveling humanitarian, military, and political crisis.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces.
The president ordered thousands of American troops back in, but only to secure the airport and facilitate evacuations. The White House acknowledging the Afghan government's fall happened much faster than anticipated as their president fled the country and security forces collapsed.
What's happening now could just as easily happen 5 years ago or 15 years in the future.
Allies and critics alike are demanding to know how the Biden administration so badly underestimated what would happen when they pulled out U.S. troops.
What we have seen is an unmitigated disaster, a stain on the reputation of the United States of America.
Early last month, President Biden brushed off comparisons to the fall of Vietnam, yet video out of Afghanistan today echoing the dangerous scramble to get U.S. citizens to safety and the hopelessness of their allies who may be left behind. Nearly 20 years after American forces moved in to neutralize a terrorist threat, Afghanistan now firmly back in the grip of a Taliban regime. President Biden is the fourth U.S. president to grapple with what became America's longest war. He has consistently said he would not pass it on to the next administration. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
North Dakota U.S. Senator John Hoeven reacted by saying he's deeply concerned that the way in which we have withdrawn from Afghanistan will embolden al-Qaeda and other terrorists to harm Americans both in the region and around the world. Jewish Social Services in Madison, Wisconsin are preparing to take in some of the Afghan refugees. The organization provides assistance to refugees and their families, including fully furnished apartments, access to health care, and more. They usually have a few weeks or months to prepare, and in this case, they have had a few days or less.
Any new refugees who are arriving now this quickly are going to have to go to extended stay hotels until we can find them appropriate housing.
Since the end of April, they've already helped resettle 44 refugees, 14 of them from Afghanistan. They expect to help 26 more by the end of September, but could see up to 100 refugees starting in October. In Grand Forks, the public health office there is offering N95 and surgical masks to the public. Starting Friday, you can pick up up to five N95 masks or 10 surgical masks at no charge at the department's main office or through the department's mobile clinic suites while supplies last. Grand Forks Public Health is located at 151 South 4th Street. That's Suite N301. It's open Monday to Friday, 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. As the summer comes to an end, many parents might be concerned about their child's sleep habits. A pediatric sleep specialist at Sanford Health has some ideas about getting back into a routine before classes start. Starting now, kids have to go to bed 10 to 15 minutes earlier every 4 to 5 days until they are on their summer routine. Waking them up earlier, that's also helpful. To help wind down the bedtime, keep the evening routine simple and consistent, physical activity before dinner can help your child wind down later. And doctors say the darker the bedroom, the better, and our brains sleep deeper in cooler temperatures. Limit screen time an hour or two before bed and consider other blue lights that might be exposed to.
It's not only the blue light with the technology, even if they have a blue light which is a night light, and that is not appropriate, because sometimes kids have a projected blue light like a Spider-Man or something like that onto their ceiling. It's still a blue light, so that shouldn't be happening.
If your kids don't like complete silence at night, try using a white noise machine or a fan. The rhythmic sound is soothing to some kids. Well, we've been getting some calls, in fact several calls from some of our viewers who are having a reception problem with our signal. It's a specific group, those who are DirecTV customers. Our engineers tell us they've been in contact with DirecTV. They have confirmed that their equipment, DirecTV's, is not properly receiving our signal. Our signal's functioning normally. Their equipment is not currently picking it up properly. And we're trying to help them out, and we're hoping that they get it fixed quickly. Later on Valley News Live at 5, the death toll continues to climb in the aftermath of that major earthquake in Haiti.
We showed you the pictures of the smoke out west. Our air quality here in the valley, both Grand Forks and Fargo, in the good category. Will it stay that way? We'll look at that smoke forecast, take another look at that state capitol. Your hour-by-hour forecast does include a chance of showers and some soaking rain in the extended forecast. Details next.